Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, heavyweight news. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, biggest heavyweight news out there. About the fight, things that happened in the last fight, all kind of stuff according with these guys who are about to have a trilogy. But here's the deal: we kind of all know that the trilogy is in jeopardy. We know the trilogy is in jeopardy. If everything that you've seen up until now, using your common sense, you probably think the trilogy is in jeopardy, and not just because of COVID-19. It's just in jeopardy because of bottom line is Wilder going to be ready to fight? Whenever the date may be, late the year, October, November, December, whenever it might be, is Deontay Wilder going to be ready to fight? So that is the reason that you don't hear any articles or mainstream media, anybody on TV talking about the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury trilogy, right? Because if they say, hey, the trilogy's in jeopardy, then they're going to have to say why. And the thing is, we don't want to talk about why. But here's the deal. If you were talking in any sport, let's say a hockey player, they put the gloves down and they start fighting. And one of the dude has a very severe injury, an injury to his skull. Or let's say a soccer player goes up for a header and bam, hits the head of another one and he has a totally fractured skull. It's going to be out for a while, right? NBA player, some little dude in the middle trying to get a rebound and the big dude elbowed him, boom, messed it up, fractured a dent in his head or something. You know what I'm saying? Football player threw the helmet, some kind of thing. They get concussion protocol all the time. They say his helmet was off and he still messed around and hit another dude with the helmet or whatever, right? Got a dent in his head. All of those is going to be on the news. All of those injuries are going to at least be on the news. These are stars in their sport, or just, you've made it to the pro leagues, and there's going to be, some kind of report about it. Now, for the star, a major player in any of the leagues the world over, cricket, for crying out loud, has some kind of injury that's weird to his head, it's going to be an injury, a front page news in sport at least, maybe even front page news period, because we're talking now the heavyweight champion has a dent in his head, and that is worthy of just talking about it alone. Hey, wait a minute, the heavyweight champ has a funny injury. Why? You know that's worthy, and it's a headline. And you're talking about sport commentators, the analysts, talk show hosts, beat writers, anybody involved. That's a headline normally. But media has a way of basically hiding stories, waiting for grass to grow over it. Just hold up, don't just say nothing about it, let it go by. There's a lot of stories the last years that, for example, I thought were the major stories of the year. There's a lot of little things that I'm like, well, this is not small. And then I kind of focus on them, right? But I haven't got subscribers and nothing. But I'm just gonna focus on those. Just things that are ridiculous. Like, when we had emails, racist emails, extremely racist emails going back and forth from, Boxing Bible, Ring Magazine, and Golden Boy Promotions. That was the biggest story of that year, which I think was 217, if I'm not mistaken. Right? It's the biggest story. But you never heard anything about mainstream. Matter of fact, De La Hoya was on the shows afterwards, and they didn't get the chance to ask him about it. They didn't ask him about it, and they weren't going to, and I'm pretty sure they weren't allowed to. Said it then. That's a huge story. It's a headline, right? A lot of stories. So, and when you're talking right now with Deontay Wilder having a head injury, right, and you don't know why, then you're also hearing about the glove gate with Tyson Fury, where it's tampered with his gloves in both fights, and it's out there. It's worthy of mention, right? Worthy of mention, but it won't be. Things like that. This is awesome. And then you have the Wild Boar story with Tyson Fury, because he's now the heavyweight champion. That would be worthy of at least talking about it. If someone else did it and it wasn't no fight or something, because I'm trying to insinuate, what I'm trying to tell you is the fact of the reason is they're not looking into it is because he beat Deontay Wilder. And it really doesn't matter what's wrong with Deontay Wilder, whether it be the dent or if it was gloves or whatever. We're not going to even look into it. That's what most people have said. So that would just be swept under the rug, things like that. And it's fighters, fighters that are doing great that, we don't really talk about, like Demetrius Andre, and I talk about all the time. They won't give him an opportunity to be undisputed at middleweight, right? And no one will talk about the fight he could have had with Canelo to be undisputed, right? You got your boys at heavyweight, Michael Hunter, heavyweight, American heavyweight. He should be known by now. He should be known by now. The dude has only lost once in cruiserweight and went up there, beat a lot of heavyweights, all the big ones, Bacoli, Ustinov, Maldonado, Kuzman, the undefeated Kuzman, and beat Povetkin, right? Then got a draw where he was robbed from a win, which definitely, and then Dillian White's fighting Povetkin instead of him. And so he was signed under Eddie Hearn for a while. And what happens to him? The same thing that happens to Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. Eddie Hearn sees, I got a heavyweight that would beat probably Joshua and Dillian White. Ain't happening here. I got to get rid of him. I can't give him no more fights. Now, that COVID-19 did come into play. You can't promote everybody right now. But bottom line is somebody could get behind him. But the fact of the matter is Michael Hunter probably doesn't have a big following. People try to act like they don't know what's going on. We have another wonderful heavyweight that's doing things and is not big and has beat most of these guys. He has wins over Andy Ruiz Jr. in the amateurs. He feels as though he beat Tyson Fury in the amateurs, right? And all of them, he said all of them know me. Deontay Wilder, Charles Martin, Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz, they all know me. They know I'm a problem, and I'm the best heavyweight now, and I have been for a while, right? And he has a whole lot of leg to stand on, a whole lot of leg to stand on because ain't nobody. If you notice about them good ones, nobody is mentioning. And the sanctioned bodies, they got him in the top 10 now, but he's not really mentioning things. And see, Eddie Hearn able to get rid of a guy like this that's basically undefeated at heavyweight, only lost once to Usyk, and smaller than these guys, and all up in it. And ain't nobody really never calling his name, right? Although I do understand some of the very, very best are trying to get titles and have fights, right? So he's got to basically clean up the rest of them, and that's what he's been doing. I mean, it's been awesome what he's been doing up until now. But I would consider him a great heavyweight, right? I would consider him a great heavyweight that's not being mentioned. So, the news can just basically dictate who they're going to be talking about and who is supposed to be the man and who we supposed to like, the fights that we supposed to want instead of listening to what we really want. But it's capable because, some people just are not looking for things when they see it, because when I go to Deontay Wilder, too many people are happy that he lost and they don't really care why, which is incredible, right? You got an American heavyweight, which we didn't have a long time, giving you KOs of the year, at least 5 of them, KOs of the year, right? People don't do that to Stavern or, Brazil or even Lyokovic and all that stuff that's going down. People get knocked out, one punch knockouts like that. At least I'm sure about 10 of them there's been nominations for knockout of the year, at least, and coming from nowhere, fighting, knocking out 40 guys in a row in the heavyweight division and smaller than these guys, not doped. All those things that you have there, right, are megastar. You can't ask for more. If you think about an athlete, I want to see a heavyweight that does this. You're going to be like, well, he knocks out everybody. That's what you're probably going to do. You're not going to say, hey, I want a heavyweight that outboxes everybody. It's not what a normal person really is going to say. I got a heavyweight that knocks out everybody. You get one, and you start complaining about how. And then you don't never find out that he's not trying to fight nobody. You got that, and you're still not happy because there's other emotions that outweigh things like that. It just don't look the way people should. But I do know this. I know this, that an injury to the heavyweight champion that's weird normally would be looked into. This is incredible that no one cares. Doma Sports Talk worldwide, and I'm about to hear y'all.